does seem to be a pretty picture. For instance, my sources that I really believe in and have given me information over time, over the years, on these matters have never been wrong with anything they've given me. So I have tremendous confidence, if you understand me, in what they have told me and what I have here on with information. This whole thing about a 30-year exclusivity on casino license non-payment and value-added tax and all those things to not be paid, if in fact they're going to help Mr. Christie push this idea of getting Bahamas started. What can you tell us about that? Is this something that the Christie administration is cognizant of? Do they know about this? Is this something that you can confirm, deny, or fill us in on what is really happening?
Well, I'd like to say, firstly, that the Prime Minister is the most seasoned and experienced politician in the Bahamas today. Mm-hmm. And I do not expect that the Bahamian people will expect him to make stupid and foolish mistakes.
Is that what you would call this if he was to sign on to that?
May I just finish?
Sure, go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
So I say they do not expect him to make foolish mistakes. Having said that, it is not true that the Bahamas government has been contemplating the contents of a letter which disclosed the request you have spoken to in your dissertation. There has been no new owner selected for the purchase of the hotel. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Any negotiation for concessions or otherwise will be with the new owner, not the Chinese, as you put it. It could be an American, it can be a South African. We don't know who the new owner intended will be. And any negotiations for concessions or otherwise will be with that new owner. That's number two. Mm-hmm. Just let me go on.
Go ahead.
Number three, you ought to know that the cabinet of the Bahamas makes decisions for the government of the Bahamas. And whether or not it sounds good to say the Chinese have made these requests, or whether or not it will evoke emotions, is perhaps what is intended by these statements. But the government has no idea of any request made for 500 citizenships. That is almost as stupid as the statement. The government don't negotiate citizenship like that. You have to qualify for citizenship. And you may know what the qualifications are in order to apply for citizenship. And no citizenships will ever be contemplated by this government on the sale of the hotel. You could write that down. I also want to go on record as saying that when the time comes, whatever concessions were given to Sun International, Curzon International, is expected to be given to any new hotel operators. That's the policy, and it will not be different for any new hotel operator that comes into the Bahamas. As far as the VAT exemption, that is as silly as it could be, because VAT is a legal issue. That is not an issue that you can allow or not allow by virtue of negotiation. The law will have to be changed to accommodate that. And so to suggest it is another twist which is intended to evoke emotion in the Bahamian people. And finally, to speak to the Attorney General, and Subaltern Bethel going off to China to ink the deal or to negotiate any agreement in those terms is another lie. The AG and Subaltern had been traveling to and from China for the last 6-8 months. Why they didn't say that then? The trip they're making now is to continue negotiations for the start of this hotel. And they've been doing that for a long time. And so I want to go on record as representing what I say on behalf of the Bahamas government. The Bahamian people may not be listening, but yet there will be some who will believe you and who will believe the statements you make. And I'm not saying you didn't get it from sources, but I think you ought to feel that you could have called on somebody in the government before you went public with the statement, to get it from the government, at least the other side, so that when you report what both sides of the coin might say. And that's the position.
You finished?
And I'll hold on for any questions that might arise from that.
Okay. My first question to you is that, are you denying that there's been a letter that's been sent to the government of the Bahamas from the Chinese XM CCA outlining these things that they'd like to see happen to make this project move? Are you denying that? Are you denying that and saying that never happened?
As a cabinet minister, I know of no such letter.
You know of no such letter. Are you saying that?
And whether it came to a member of the cabinet, only the government of the Bahamas will be able to consider the content of such letter. And as a cabinet member, I know of no such letter. I've not heard of any such letter, and I will leave it there.
What about the Attorney General and Subaltern Bethel in China on Friday? My sources gave me that they would be going there, that this is what they'll be talking about, and I made mention of all of them, as you heard me say. Now, you're saying that all of those things are lies, and you're saying that they've always been going to China, and you also said to me, Mr. Gray, today, that there's no buyer, and when there's a buyer, it could be an American, a German, or whoever, and when there's a buyer, we can expect to know what is happening. I want to ask then, what would be the reason for the Christie administration to be going to China to have any negotiations at all if this thing is still up in the air and we don't know what is happening from the receivers on this particular matter? Why would they still be actively engaged in something like this when, in fact, there has been no confirmation of a buyer, and that XM Bank and CCA have been saying that there is no buyer and there will be no buyer? What would they be negotiating, and why would they go on Friday to negotiate?
Well, Steve, it's hard and it's difficult to prove a negative. I was answering the proposition you made, that they had gone to China to ink the deal or to discuss these matters you raised in your dissertation.
To negotiate what had been given to us as the information.
The contents of the letter.
Yes, sir.
That's what you said.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying that's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie that they went
Yes,
to.
for the purpose that you mentioned they had gone for.
So they went for something else. I understand you, but you said they went for something else.
I'm not able to disclose why they went. I'm saying they didn't go for those reasons.
Okay.
And that's sufficient to deny what you said.
I hear what you said.
I'm not able to say on the radio why the AG and Baltran went to China. I'm saying they didn't go for the purposes of discussing these things that I had just mentioned. That's a lie.
So these negotiations that you seem to know something about, you were saying that they're about what? Trying to staff the hotel?
Steve, as a cabinet minister, I'm never going to be drawn into giving cabinet secrets, as it were, to the public. I'm saying I am denying that they went to China to discuss any of the propositions.
But they did go to China, is what they did go to China, but you're saying.
My understanding is that they went to China, but no signing of any deal, no negotiation of any deal could be had by the AG or Subaltern without the approval of the cabinet.
Okay, I hear you, Mr. Gray. Let me ask you this question now, since we're talking. The whole idea of you made mention that 500 citizenships, that would be stupid. It's as stupid as it sounds.
Well, in order to open the hotel, that's what you said the deal is expected to be.
Yeah,
and I'm saying the Bahamian government do not sell citizenship. Citizenship has to be earned by virtue of a qualification.
So you deny, Mr. Gray, you would deny that this is not so. You would also call that a lie.
It is not so. I will go on record, and
that it is not so.
If it turns out to be so, I will resign from the cabinet.
Really?
Yes.
That's a bold statement.
I am saying if as you said, the government.
As my sources informed me, and I tell you, my sources are top class, credible sources that have always been top class, credible sources that gave me the information that I believe. Now, let me tell you, let me just caution you, Mr. Gray.
No, let me just finish.
let me caution you.
I'm a part of a cabinet that I'm very proud to be involved in.
No doubt. I believe.
I
believe.
tell you that 500 citizenship for Chinese, or even
That's small. That's small. That's small. That's a small amount.
Hold on. Or even 100, or even 50 citizenship for Chinese for the sale or otherwise of Bahama can never be contemplated. Will never be contemplated.
Man, stop it. Put it in context, Mr. Gray. If the Chinese want to, and they don't plan to sell this to anybody else, you know and I know, and you may not be able to say that this whole thing with XM Bank and CCA, this is where this deal is going. This is not going to any buyer. We know that. I know that. The point is this, though, Mr. Gray. In any of these deals, it's not a hard-pressed thing to believe and understand that if they're spending the kind of monies that they're spending and are going to save the Christie administration in this free fall that they're now experiencing, it is not hard to contemplate, to even ask and suggest by those persons who are putting this out there from the Chinese grouping to ask for that amount of citizenship, all things considered. These are condominiums onto the property that they want to have their people who are coming here to live to be able to be citizens of the Bahamas. That's not anything hard to understand. They may put on the table to negotiate. Now, the thing is, whether the government of the Bahamas is willing to contemplate that. That's my question to you. Would the government of the Bahamas contemplate and think about that and even negotiate that kind of thing for 500 citizenships for people to come from China to live at that property?
I answered that before you asked me. I said to you that the cabinet of which I'm a part will never contemplate giving citizenship for to seal a deal with the sale of this hotel. Citizenship is earned. You have to apply. You have to be qualified citizenship. We don't negotiate citizenship in the Bahamas like that.
I hear you.
It cannot be negotiated.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
And I was happy you mentioned the 8,000 or so work permits that the former FNM government was willing to give to get this thing started. And that in itself was a disaster. But work permit is totally different from citizenship.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
I'm saying if you say 500 work permit, that might be something that could be contemplated. But certainly, it ain't gonna be citizenship. And you write that down. And that's the one that will cause me to
resign.
Come on. Well, listen, man. Could you imagine that can happen? And I am sure that the
I know if you had anything to do with it, it would not happen. I believe in my heart of hearts, if Gray had anything to do with it, it wouldn't happen. But you know, I have to
tell you, if Christie have anything to do with it, it would not happen.
I see.
I go on record as saying that because he has been a steady leader.
So,
he may hold on, man. He may not make decisions as fast as some people expect him to make them, but I challenge you, Steve, or anybody else out there to say he has made a mistake in any decision he made on behalf of this country. I challenge you.
That he's made a mistake?
Yes.
Man, that's a big thing. That's wide.
I want you.
We could find all kinds of mistakes that Christie's made.
Find one that he made on behalf of this country that was a mistake.
This Bamsey thing with all this stuff that's happened?
Man, Bamsey ain't no mistake. Stop talking nonsense.
Bamsey's a good thing.
Bamsey is a good thing. That's not a mistake. I say a mistake.
Well, what do you term a mistake? You mean a misstep, or you mean...
Listen, man,
because whatever I say is not going to be a mistake. Anyway, Mr. Gray.
No, you know what a mistake is, Steve.
Bottom line.
You know what a mistake is. Yes.
Mr. Gray, I'm telling you, there are many mistakes that... there are many mistakes that Christie made.
I will even hang up.
There are many mistakes that... No, don't go yet. There are many mistakes that Christie made in the government. Many mistakes.
In the administration of his administration of this country, I want you to list one mistake that he made.
Plenty mistakes.
In dealing with the Bahamian people as a country. Tell me one.
In dealing with the Bahamian people as a country?
I mean, in dealing with the matters of this country. Tell me one.
Well, he promised us mortgage relief, and he didn't do it.
That's not a mistake.
Yeah, no. That's a mistake. He went on, Gray, we're not going to get into that semantics. He went into this whole thing about he's going to get this done, and it's only a matter of weeks and all that. It has not been done. This whole thing about jobs and the rest of it. There's so many things. There's so many things.
So let me answer that one. Steve, you know, when promises are made at election time, you try as best you can to fulfill those promises.
No, this went beyond promises, Mr. Gray. This was supposed to be negotiations with several banks that Christie talked about.
Who you representing, man? Let me make my point, and then you.
I represent the Bahamian people.
No, but I do too.
All right, go ahead.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish your point.
I'm saying the mortgage relief plan, which was contemplated by the government, was negotiated with the commercial banks, and it turned out to be that they were not sold on the plan. That plan failed. It did not mean he made a mistake.
Listen,
that plan failed.
Based on the calculations.
Well, anyhow.
Go ahead.
I say the plan failed.
The plan failed. So that ain't Christie's fault.
It wasn't. No.
You know what else? You know what else is a mistake, Gray?
Let me answer this. That was a plan that the commercial banks did not fully buy into.
Well, that's
why it failed.
Yeah, well, that's the mistake there, because Mr. Christie would have done his due diligence, and then it didn't happen. Anyway, you know there's another mistake, and you can go if you want to. The other mistake is this same Bahama thing at the level that it's been doing, and the actual the phase-in thing being put aside and doing a whole big project, and all of the things that Christie has been doing to get this thing done. This has been.
Hold on.
This has been a tremendous. This has been a tragedy, not only a mistake.
That is not a failure on behalf of the Bahamas government.
Really?
This Bahama deal was between Ismailian, the Exim Bank, and the China Construction Company. They are the three parties in the Bahama deal. The government came along and it gave concessions and some land to make it happen.
Mistake.
What I'm saying to you, it was not a mistake for the billions or millions, what you call it, of dollars to be put into putting together a $1 billion project. That was not a mistake. It might be termed as some to mean.
You want me to say it's a failure? You want me to say it's a miscalculation of a failure?
The government? No. You blaming the government?
It is the government of the Bahamas, Mr. Gray, that's still in China negotiating, even though this thing has been put in the hands of the receivers. You all are still negotiating. That is a mistake.
No, the government is trying to get this matter moving. Now, if you say they shouldn't try to get it moving, then you were wrong. The government can't take its hands off and say we don't have anything to do with trying to get this project moving. That's why they're there.
Maybe
to get it moving. And if that's wrong, then we will want to be wrong.
I see.
Because that hotel should soon be started, and we hope we can make that announcement. I don't know when.
When you think? Christie's been saying, Mr. Gray, Christie's been saying that he's about to go to the Parliament by Wednesday in this budget debate to make a big announcement. He wants to do something big. He said that last time. That was a mistake last time. It didn't happen. He had nothing to say. Again, Allison and those are off. The Attorney General and Subaltern are off again. And Wednesday is coming. It's day after tomorrow. And I don't know what this big announcement will be. If it isn't that Bahama will be opening in 2 days or 2 months or whatever he may have to say. But we are anticipating that this will be another situation that will have the air let out of the bag very, very quickly. And we won't hear anything about what's really happening because, as I said, my sources have indicated to me and have been my sources for a long time on this case, Mr. Gray. The Hard Copy Nation that listens to me all the time and every day would have heard me talk about the many things that we were given by my source on the Bahama project, and we've never been wrong. We on record. We can pull all the tapes and let you hear it. I'm not saying that. Listen, all I'm saying is this. It was cause for concern, and we made mention based upon my credible, reliable source. Now, you're saying it's all nonsense. You're saying it's all nonsense. You say that you deny it. Didn't you? You denied it. You denied it. Good.
I gave you every bit of information that I could. I don't know what the Prime Minister will say. He is the Prime Minister. I will not want to preempt anything.
Did the Prime Minister give you leave to deal with this today for him to say you are defending the government? Did he give you leave to do that? Because if he did, Mr. Gray, he should have given you all the information so that you can really come and hit one on the ball.
The Prime Minister don't need to give me his speech and the contents of his speech.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, did he give you leave authorization to tell you, go great deal with that and fix that right away? Did he tell you that?
Any cabinet minister who is a part of the cabinet and knows what's going on could say the same thing I'm saying. Because we are in a position to know the facts.
But you are saying it. You know, when this came out...
I am one of,
Mr.
and
Gray,
in the absence of the Prime Minister and the absence
you've
of
taken it upon yourself. I understand that.
I'm speaking on behalf of the government.
I hear you, and I accept that, you know, Mr. Gray. I only want you to know that's on the record.
You quote me as a minister of the government.
Yes, you are.
That's the capacity in which I speak.
But I asked you a question. Did the Prime Minister give you leave?
I didn't have leave of the Prime Minister. I didn't need leave of the Prime Minister.
All right. So who are the buyers? Do you have... Mr. Gray, before I go...
The Prime Minister heard just like everybody else.
Mr. Gray, I hear you.
Yes.
Who are the potential buyers? We haven't heard anything from the time that we were supposed to hear something on these bids from 2 weeks ago. Nothing has happened. What can you tell us in your capacity?
My understanding is that there are more than 5 potential buyers, but no decision has been made as to whose bid might be accepted. That's going to be up to the Exim Bank to decide that and the receivers.
You don't believe that the XM Bank is making sure that CCA will be the buyer and will be the ones who will complete this whole building?
I'm not going to speculate. That is speculative. I can't say that. I'm not going to go into that domain because...
Does it appear?
No, I don't know what is in the mind of the Exim Bank officials. I can't talk about that. All I know is there are several interested buyers, but no buyer has been selected. That's as far as I'm able to go.
I understand. All right, Mr. Gray, we appreciate it. And we're sorry about these phone lines. We don't know what's happening with them, but hopefully they'll come back.
At least you know your phone bill has gone up a little.
That's all right. No, I good. We all right.
I know you're good, man.
The hard copy nation will take care of that.
Thank you for allowing me on because I wanted to be sure that the payment people don't take lock, stock, and barrel, hook and sinker what is being spread around because it's a lie. And I think people ought not to be so gullible. And the gentleman who came on, he said, why having us on? As if he dismissed the possibility of us putting the truth out there. That's not fair. Journalism has to be both sides of the story.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you're willing to at least put to the public both sides.
I appreciate it.
What they believe is not up to me. But once you put the facts out there, somebody will know what the facts are.
Well, I wait for you all to put your facts out there and make sure we know exactly what Allison and Boultron Bella was doing in China this weekend negotiating.
In time, everything will be laid on the table, my brother.
I appreciate it.
When this contract with the new owners is signed, it will be signed with cameras all over the place.
I hear you. Okay, Mr. Gray, I appreciate it.
Private deal here. We don't do private deals.
I see.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate your call. Thank you much.
Okay,
all right. Okay,
bye.
great. Bye-bye.